I decided to stop by my son's house one afternoon without calling. It wasn't planned. I'd just come from the bakery with a box of pastries I knew he loved, and something in me said, go now. But when I pulled into the driveway and saw my sister's car parked beside his, I knew something was wrong. Before I begin, I'm glad you're here with me. Please listen to my story until the end and tell me which city you're listening from, so I can see how far this story travels. That day is burned into my memory with painful precision. The sky was overcast, heavy with the kind of gray that presses down on your chest. I remember thinking it might rain, and how fitting that felt. My son Daniel's house looked normal from the outside, too normal. The lawn was trimmed, the curtains were open. A wind chime clicked softly on the porch, but my sister Linda's blue sedan sat in the driveway. Linda wasn't the type to drop by. She announced herself, she called, she made noise, and she never came without a reason. I stayed in the car longer than I should have, fingers resting on the steering wheel, heart knocking hard against my ribs. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe she needed help. Maybe Daniel was sick. Maybe I got out anyway. As I walked up the path, I heard laughter through the open kitchen window. Daniel's laugh. And hers. Not the loud, familiar laugh she used at family dinners. This one was softer, intimate, the kind meant for only one person. I slowed my steps. The pastries grew heavy in my hands. I didn't mean to listen. I swear I didn't, but my body stopped before my mind could catch up. Linda spoke first. You're sure she doesn't suspect anything? Daniel replied without hesitation. She trusts us. She always has. My stomach dropped. Linda sighed. Good, because once the papers are signed, it'll all be easier. The box slipped from my hands. It hit the porch with a dull thump, scattering powdered sugar across the wood like quiet snowfall. Inside, the laughter stopped. I stepped back before they could see me, my breath shallow, my hands trembling so badly I could barely unlock my car. I don't remember the drive home. I remember only sitting at my kitchen table hours later, staring at a family photo on the wall. Me, Daniel, Linda, smiling. How long had they been planning this? That night, Daniel called. Mom, did you stop by earlier? He asked casually. No, I said. The lie tasted bitter, but I swallowed it anyway. Must have been the wind, he said lightly. I thought I heard something. I hung up and sat in the dark, the truth settling into my bones like winter cold. They weren't just betraying me, they were using me. Sleep didn't come that night. Every memory replayed differently. Every conversation twisted into something darker. I thought about the documents I'd signed without reading too closely. The accounts Linda helped me organize after my husband died. The way Daniel had insisted it was easier if he handled things. I had trusted them. By morning, grief had hardened into something else. Clarity. I made coffee. I showered. I dressed as if I had somewhere important to go, because I did. I went to the bank first, then to a lawyer, then home to the filing cabinet I hadn't opened in years. By the end of the week, I knew everything. They'd been slowly transferring assets, preparing paperwork, lining up signatures they thought I wouldn't question. They assumed I was old. They assumed I was tired. They assumed wrong. I didn't confront them. Not yet. I watched. I listened. I gathered proof. Daniel grew nervous. Linda grew distant. They could feel the shift even if they didn't understand it. One afternoon, Linda showed up unannounced. You've been quiet lately, she said, sitting at my table like she still belonged there. Everything okay? I smiled. Perfect, I said. Her eyes flickered, just for a second. That's when I knew I had the upper hand. The confrontation happened in a courthouse hallway 3 months later. They stood together when they saw me. Daniel, stiff, Linda pale. What is this? Daniel demanded when the clerk called my name. This, I said calmly, is me taking my life back. Inside the courtroom, the truth unfolded slowly, mercilessly. Documents, transfers, recorded conversations they'd forgotten about. Linda cried. Daniel didn't. He just stared at me like he was finally seeing a stranger. When the judge ruled in my favor, the room went quiet. I didn't look at them as I left. I didn't need to. I moved shortly after that. A small place, quiet, sunlight in the mornings, no memories hanging on the walls. Daniel tried to call once. I didn't answer. Linda sent a letter. I didn't open it. Some betrayals don't deserve closure. What surprised me most wasn't the loss. It was the peace. The silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt earned. Sometimes I think back to that afternoon, the pastries, the laughter, the moment everything cracked open. If I hadn't stopped by that day, I might still be living inside their lie. Instead, I live inside my truth, and it's quieter here, stronger, free. Thank you for listening to my story until the end.